Why do some people argue until their faces turn red over a few dollars? When you understand the weight of life at 5 o'clock in the morning at the vegetable market, Aunt Zhang, clutching the crumpled 5 yuan, chased the vegetable vendor for 3 streets. "You overcharged by 20 cents?" Her cry trembled in the morning mist, and the boss waved his hand impatiently. Is this money worth it? Onlookers might find it ridiculous, but no one knows that these 2 cents were the bus fare she had saved for 3 days. There are always such scenes in life that make us cuh and help but ask, why do some people care so much about a few dollars? The survival logic behind a few dollars, case 1. The old lady who tossed the wrong coin last winter. I saw a grandma put a 5 yuan coin into the fare box on the bus. She tugged at the driver's sleeve and begged for 20 minutes until her tears soaked the scarf. This is the money for buying medicine for the grandson. Her voice was swallowed up by the sound of the engine. Later, a college student quietly handed her 5 yuan, but was refused. My money is wrapped in adhesive tape. At that moment, I suddenly realized that for some people, a few dollars are a lifeline. Case 2. The fried dough stick couple chasing a motorcycle. There was once a scene at the fried dough stick stand on the street corner. When the husband gave the customer an extra 20 yuan as change, the wife chased after him for 100 meters, braving the fumes. The motorcycle sped away. She knelt on the ground and pounded her knees. Blood seeped into her apron. This is the money for my daughter's tuition fees. Her crying silenced the whole street. Economists say this is loss aversion, but for them, it's a month's worth of steamed bun money. 2. Class differences in money perception, the gap in consumption concepts. There was once a popular question on Jihu. What is your opinion on people who walk for half an hour to save 10 yuan on a taxi fare? The highly praised answer is, their time is not valuable. But the fact is, a delivery man needs to make 2 more orders to earn 10 yuan, which is enough to buy a box of milk for his child. The cleaning lady saved 10 yuan and could buy more plasters for her husband. The mental account theory in behavioral economics states that the rich regard money as numbers, while the poor regard money as fate. My awakening moment when I was in high school. I stole 1,000 yuan from home to buy sports shoes and was caught by my father. He just came back from the construction site. There was still cement stuck between his nails. For lunch, he had cold steamed buns and pickled mustard greens. "Dad, will you have this for lunch?" I asked. But he smiled and said, "Come on, Dad, we'll take you to a restaurant." That day, he ordered my favorite sweet and sour asparagus, but only picked some green vegetables himself. The pocket money I squandered was the blood and sweat he shed under the sun. 3. The philosophy of money. In poverty, the material fee of the scavenger girl last winter, I met a little girl who was walking around under a street lamp. Her material fee, 35 yuan, was saved by her grandma from collecting waste materials for a month. If the money drops, grandma will cry. Tears hung on the tip of her frozen red nose. This reminds me of Ma Baijuan in the documentary The Way Out. At the age of 12, her greatest wish was to be able to afford potatoes every day. For them, a few dollars are the key to changing their fate. The survival wisdom of the vegetable market, the elderly observing the vegetable market will find that they can grind the vendor for 5 minutes for 10 cents. The loose change will be folded into small squares according to the face value. Plastic bags washed clean can be reused for 10 years. This is not stinginess, but rather the most clumsy way to confront the uncertainties of life. Sociologist Sun Liping calls it survival rationality. When resources are extremely scarce, people will enter a thrifty survival mode. 4th, don't let a sense of superiority blind your eyes. Beware of the arrogance of why not eat minced meat. A stand-up comedian once quipped, "Who cares about just a few dozen yuan nowadays?" But it was retorted by netizens. Do you know that the lunch fee for children in mountainous areas is only 5 yuan a day? When we get used to the 38 yuan coffee at Starbucks, it's hard to understand why someone walks for half an hour to save 2 yuan. The difference in economic status can cause huge cognitive deviations. Father steamed buns in my sneakers. After the meal that day, my father took out the crumpled money from his pocket to settle the bill. I saw a Band-Aid on his thumb. "Dad, your hands." He hurriedly put his hands behind his back, a small cut from carrying bricks. At that moment, I suddenly realized that my easy life was due to someone shouldering the burden for me. Since then, I haven't spent a penny carelessly anymore. The sociologist Bourdieu pointed out in The Distinction that the concept of money is an invisible mark of class. When we accuse others of being petty, we are actually measuring their world with our own logic of life. Just like Mayuti in Dust Settles, in order to save money, he printed plum blossoms for his wife with wheat grains, under the heavy pressure of survival. Even the tiniest amount of money carries the dignity of life. The next time you see someone being overly concerned about a few dollars, please show more understanding. The small change in your eyes might be someone else's whole world. Interactive topic. Have you ever misunderstood someone else's view of money? How did one learn to put oneself in others' shoes later on?